Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to be going over my opinion on who won the vice presidential debate last night. So again, this is video strictly on my opinion. If you guys don't want to hear it, obviously click off. I don't want to force any political beliefs upon anybody, and hopefully I can refrain from doing that in this video as we continue forward. If you guys have kept up with any of my various political series videos that I've posted over the course of the last week or two, hopefully I've remained relatively neutral. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed those. The support on those has been pretty solid, so I'm going to continue making those up until this crazy election cycle ends, and hopefully we see a good result for America. So we're going to get right into it. In short, I believe Vice President Pence was the winner of the debate that was hosted last night. Hopefully you guys all got a chance to see it. It was an hour and a half long. It was moderated by someone, I'm not 100% familiar with her name. I think Vice President Pence said multiple times that she's from USA Today, but I was not familiar with her at all. And I didn't get a chance to look her up or do anything like that before the making of this video. But I think she did a good job. I think she did better than Chris Wallace did at the first debate. No one was really debating with her, and that was the problem that President Trump ran into. At the first debate, he kind of had to debate Chris Wallace and Joe Biden at the same time. Do I think that Pence was a little bit more... she was a little bit more harsh to Pence, sure, but that's kind of what you can expect these days. And I will give both of them credit. It was a peaceful debate. This is kind of what a debate's supposed to be. Now, Kamala Harris did get upset a couple times when Pence interrupted her, and obviously, you don't like to be interrupted, but it is a debate. And that's kind of the point of a debate. You're supposed to have back and forth, and I think both Pence and Harris were very respectful. And why I think Pence won, he was very composed the entire time. I mean, I don't know. I wasn't necessarily a big fan of him before then, but I mean, I think he swayed a lot of people, not necessarily to vote for Trump, but I think he swayed people to at least like him. He seemed like a very respectable guy. He was very nice. He expressed things through his faith. And things such as that. He was respectful to Harris, and Harris was relatively respectful to him. There wasn't a lot of interrupting going on, which was very nice to see. And they both brought up points that, I think could be fact-checked a little bit. I think Pence came with stronger points, came with a more clear agenda of, or I guess Harris kind of attacked Pence quite a bit, but Pence kind of had a strong base to go off of, and I think he conveyed the message he was attempting to convey quite well. Now on Harris's side, I think she said exactly what she needed to say for the most part for her party to continue supporting her. She said some things that have been proven false, and obviously still Pence said some of those things as well that aren't necessarily true. And I guess while we're there, I should say that my biggest problem with the platform was I think they should be allowed a little bit more time when they're expressing their opinions. I know it's an hour and a half. I shouldn't say opinions, I should say opinions, but also facts or truths to them, whatever you want to call them. I think they should be a little bit more time to answer the questions that they were given, because there was a lot of dodging the questions last night, a lot from Mike Pence, which you don't like to see, and he would kind of answer the question from the last segment in a response to what Harris had said for like the first minute and a half of his allotted 2 minutes, and then he would start to answer the question, and then he kind of run over. So I think they need like 3 or 4 minutes to answer those things. Again, I know it's only a 90-minute show, or debate, I should say, but I think they need more time there, and I think there needs to be more back and forth, because we saw it a lot in the first debate. Biden would say something or Trump would say something, and the other person would want to respond, and then they didn't always get the chance to respond. But it is a debate. You need the chance to respond, and when they're done responding, then you move on. But like I said, I think the moderator did a good job for the most part. It kind of flowed along relatively smoothly. Like I said, wasn't a fan of the question dodging on both sides. It was kind of funny because you knew it was coming, but you were still hopeful that they would give a truthful answer. But the problem is, I don't think anyone was really swayed to vote either way. And if people agree with me, if Pence actually won, I don't think he really swayed anybody to vote for Trump or anything like that. I think he could have potentially won some votes in 4 years if he decides to run for president, which I don't know if he wants to do that. I don't know if that's on his agenda at any point in time. I think he may have won some votes then, but I don't think he necessarily won any votes for Trump in terms of liberals voting for Trump or independents voting for Trump or even Harris. I don't think she really won any conservatives to vote for her, and I don't really think she won any more independents or liberals to vote for her. I think the people's minds are kind of already made up. I think it was good to see a peaceful debate, but I don't think at this point in time, everyone coming in to the last month or two, besides the last some of the independents and moderates that are left, which are very important, don't get me wrong. I think most people who are going to vote, I think the number is 90%, have already made up their minds, and that was before any of the debates. So I think that's just a reality of everything these days. You've been told to either be a liberal or be a conservative, a Republican or a Democrat, and that's what you've been told, and that's what you're going to do. I know a lot of college kids don't always do their research, know why they're voting the way they are, which I think is dangerous, but I also think that's just the world we live in these days. So I don't think there are a lot of votes left to be picked up. I think whoever is going to win this election was going to win this election 2 months ago. So it'll be very interesting there. One more thing I did want to touch on, and this is the problem also with if Pence actually did win the election, or not the election, the debate last night, is there was a fly on his head towards the end of it. And I'm sure anyone who watched it noticed this, and I'm sure anyone who's on Instagram or Twitter or whatever it may be and is keeping up with politics at all noticed this or saw this at some point in time. And this fly stayed there for about 1:30, and he didn't notice it. And I saw a tweet, and it's well, at least we know now Pence doesn't have a earpiece in his ear of someone telling him what to say, because they would have told him to take the fly off his head. But all sorts of memes have already been created of a fly being on Pence's head, and the fly has really been the talk of today and of the debate. So I don't know. It's hard for him to claim victory when that happened. That's pretty embarrassing. But I think a lot of the big news outlets will either focus on that fly or they'll say Harris won just by default, because that's the world we live in. But I'm really interested to hear from you guys in the comment section below who you guys think won the debate. Like I said, I believe Pence won, but I guess you could potentially argue that Harris won as well, and I'd love to hear from everyone in the comment section below. Also, just if you watched it in general, you don't necessarily have to express any opinions on who won or on who you like or anything like that. Just if you watched it. I know on the stream I was watching, there was 400,000 people watching it, which is very impressive. Obviously, I think it was half of the number of people watching the first debate, which is what you can expect. I know a lot of people didn't even know there was a vice presidential debate yesterday. I honestly didn't even know that was a thing before this year. But it was nice to see a more peaceful debate, if you will. So that's going to do it for this video. If you haven't already and you appreciate or you liked anything you heard at any point in this video, go ahead and smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're almost to 250 subscribers. We're 2 off. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel and you made it this far, go ahead and smash the subscribe button as you hit the like button as well. They're both free, and they're both going to help this channel grow and get these videos pushed out to everybody. Like I said, I don't want to push any political opinions upon anybody. These are just strictly my opinions about what happened, and I try to remain relatively neutral and just call things as I see it. So I really appreciate everybody watching these videos, and until next time, happy investing.